Well, in many ways, there was a similarity between the forms of economic globalization that pertained in the socialist world and in the capitalist world. In both cases, there was um, a movement of primary goods, meaning things like agricultural goods and minerals, to the richer parts of the world, so to Europe, whether it's East Germany or West Germany. There was also a combination of trying to win allegiance from global South countries through aid and deliveries of things like development goods. So in the case of the Cold War, this is a very important dynamic. Both East Germany and West Germany were competing to be recognized as the sole representative of the German people. And in many ways, the whole process of globalization and development coming from East and West Germany was kind of all about trying to get those countries in places like Africa, Latin America, and Asia to recognize either East or West Germany as being the true German nation. For West Germany, they would put pretty strong conditions on the aid that they were giving, that if any country were to recognize East Germany as a legitimate state, then they would immediately cut off diplomatic ties with that state, right? So there was a very intense inter-German competition that was actually playing out in distant places from Germany, places like Ghana or Togo or Indonesia, where representatives from East and West Germany are flying to those capitals to try to convince the politicians and leaders to side with one or the other in the fight for recognition. So this is a very specific German situation because it was a divided country, of course, in the Cold War. And as a divided country, there was this real intense period of competition from the 50s and 60s up into the 70s to wear the crown as the real German nation. Now, into the 1970s, there was more of a period of coexistence when the East and West German state recognized each other as having the right to exist and being, at some level, a legitimate actor in the world. And at that point, the competition kind of decreased in the sense that they would be using aid and development and these kind of overtures to try to win UN recognition. But there was still a kind of attempt to be seen as the better Germany. And this led to very interesting situations from the point of view of historian, which is you see East and West Germany trying to discover different parts about the German heritage in order to sell themselves as righteous historical actors to the global South. So clearly, neither East nor West Germany wanted to be identified with the history of fascism and the Holocaust and the era of Hitler, of Hitler's rule in Germany in the 1930s and 40s. So West Germany tried to associate East Germany with a new kind of totalitarianism that was similar to fascism. So they would call East Germans effectively the new fascists, but this time decreeing them to be red fascists or communist fascists, and vice versa. The East Germans would point to all of the former Nazis that continued to be active in service in government and especially in the field of judges in West Germany to try to tar their opponent with carrying the legacy of fascism. Then, in a productive way, both sides tried to find parts of the German past that they saw as usable or honorable